Good evening and thanks for joining us. There's a warning tonight about a kind of cancer that is preventable, that is treatable, and yet is on the rise in this country. It's melanoma, the most deadly form of skin cancer. And while deaths from many other cancers are on the decline in Canada, cases of melanoma are increasing, especially among people over the age of 50. As Christina Stevens reports, we all need to do more to protect ourselves.
26-year-old Caitlin Jones takes every precaution against the sun. A dramatic shift for a person who used to think she was too young to worry about skin cancer.
I had a pink spot on my forehead, and it would kind of crack open and bleed, and then it would heal again, and I wouldn't think anything of it, and then it would come back again.
A biopsy determined it was basal cell carcinoma. Jones underwent surgery to remove an area about the size of a quarter.
I don't have feeling in my head where it was, because there's like nerves and stuff that they cut.
She was fortunate, but skin cancer is on the rise, including the most dangerous type, melanoma, which accounts for about 80% of skin cancer deaths in Canada.
Over the past decade, we've seen about a 2% increase each year in the melanoma rates in Canada, and the death rate is increasing at about just over 1% each year as well.
This year, 6,500 Canadians are expected to be diagnosed with melanoma, and over 1,000 people will die from it.
About 90% of melanoma cases are caused by exposure to UV radiation, so are preventable by using sunscreen, staying in the shade, and covering up.
My turn.
Especially important for children. 5 or more sunburns early in life doubles the risk of melanoma later. And here's a big one some people overlook: indoor tanning beds.
People think they want to look healthy, they want to get a nice glow, and you forget that tanning beds are considered carcinogenic.
Surgical oncologist Dr. Francis Wright says people who are fair-skinned and redheads have to be especially careful. But everyone should be vigilant, and early detection is critical.
The majority of the time, melanoma is a pigmented mole or spot, and that's an asymmetric lesion. It may have an irregular border. It may have multiple colors in the mole.
Jones says she feels lucky she ended up with nothing more serious than a scar.
It's just a reminder of how careful I have to be.
She says people have to learn they're not invincible. Skin cancer can happen to anyone. Christina Stevens, Global News, Toronto.
And everyone should heed the advice to cover up. Here's a province-by-province breakdown of melanoma cases. The incidence rate is higher in BC than across the prairies. There are even more cases per capita in Ontario. And people in the Maritimes, especially Nova Scotia, have the highest rates of melanoma in Canada. You'll find more detail on the rates of other cancers in Canada on our website, globalnews.ca.